Saturday afternoon, and yet another matchup here in Boise between the Boise State Broncos and the San Jose State Spartans. The new Mountain West Conference matchups look like this, where a team comes to town and plays twice. Boise State getting the better of the Spartans on Thursday. Leonard Berry alongside former U of I basketball player Isabel Haddon. And Isabel, it was a great team win for the Broncos. Came down to the very last second, but Boise State pulled it out.
Yep, it was a great game Thursday. It was back and forth all game, lots of emotions flying, and I think it was exciting seeing career highs from Lavelle and Muse, so it'll be a good game tonight.
Indeed, Abby Muse and Jade Lavelle both posting career highs. This was the play that won the game, however. Elodie Lalott, last-second shot for Tyra Whitehead, and she stuffs it back in her face.
Yep, it was great timing, great place, being at the right place at the right time.
And to avoid the foul, of course, and send Whitehead to the line with a chance to tie, she did not. But Jade Lavelle shouldered the scoring load this game. 31 points, a career high for her, and she got it started in the first quarter and kept it going the whole game through.
Yep, Jade is a great all-around player. She can take it hard to the hoop, she can shoot the three, and of course her mid-range jumper is money almost every time.
Lavelle played all 40 minutes of the game as well. Never got a chance to rest. The Broncos needed her the whole way as they squeaked out a 2-point victory, 77-75. But of course, she wasn't the only one getting it done. Abby Muse filling in for the missing Mallory McGuire. What a game for her. 14 points, 18 rebounds in 32 minutes of action, filling in for one of the best players in the Mountain West.
Yep, I think Abby did a great job with McGuire out and Bowers in foul trouble most of the game. She really stepped up for her team offensively, but also defensively and offensively on the glass.
The 18 rebounds were huge, of course, a career high for her. The points as well, also a career high. And just her second ever start as a true freshman, incredible effort from Abby Muse. But on the other side, it was Sydney Lewis who tried to keep her team in the game. She had 20 and 13 on Thursday. The Broncos could not stop her, and they're going to have to find a way to do it this afternoon.
Yeah, like you said, the Broncos have to contain her today. And just stop her from getting to the hoop. She loves to just put her head down and get to that basket, either scoring or drawing a foul.
Well, Thursday's game was close. We'll hope that we have another close one here this afternoon. It's Broncos and Spartans, and it's coming up next on the Mountain West Network. Welcome back to Extra Mile Arena as we get ready for Saturday afternoon basketball, and this game is an important one, not only for the Broncos who want to stay at the top of the Mountain West Conference, but for their head coach, Gordy Presnell. He started off the season coaching his 1,000th career game in game number 1, and here today he is looking for win number 300 as head coach of the Boise State Broncos over 16 years. That's an incredible feat, Isabel.
Yes, that is. Not only is he a great coach because he's so successful, but he also makes such an impact on his players that lasts a lifetime.
So Coach Presnell, if he gets a victory today, that'll be 300 in his Bronco career. He's already the winningest women's basketball coach in Boise State history, and men's or women's, matter of fact, as we will take a look at the Broncos starters. And Mallory McGuire missed Thursday's game, back in the lineup today, a huge addition for the Broncos.
Yes, it's great to have McGuire back. Offensively, she obviously brings a lot, but defensively, she also brings a lot just because of her presence down low.
And she's got a massive height advantage in the tip-off circle, which we'll see right now. 6'5" McGuire versus the 6-foot Sydney Lewis. They are ready, we are ready, and tip-off is won by the Spartans. And Potter continuing where she left off on Thursday, going straight to the rim. Now it's Lavelle, mid-range transition, and Jade Lavelle, the first points of the game, coming off 31 on Thursday. Not a surprise to see her get started early. We're going to take a look at the Spartan starters. Same 5 as on Thursday, and there is a block by Rachel Bowers that goes out of bounds. The Broncos have their twin towers of sorts back in the post with Bowers and McGuire available today. And Bowers was in foul trouble for most of the game on Thursday. Under 10 on the shot clock now for the Spartans as Potter gives it up to Oberg. Here's Lewis, baseline jumper, and that falls. Broncos trying to move very quickly here, as Lavelle wanted the spin jumper, but instead had to give it up. Mark, baseline, met by a double. Swung to Lavelle, mid-range baseline. And Jade Lavelle from inside the arc knocks it down yet again.
The Spartans are really going to have to stop that jump shot from Jade, because that is her shot, and it is money almost every time.
And when the defense is as lax as you saw right there, Jade's going to knock that down. Got a foul on Mallory McGuire as well after the play. So McGuire picks up her first as Potter nearly traveled there. Just about a minute and a half already gone here in the first. Big collision, ball comes free, but the Spartans keep it. 6 on the clock, and another miss. This time it was courtesy Clark. Spartans did not shoot well in the first half of Thursday's game as Alexis Mark gets to the basket and makes an impact. 6-2.
That was a great drive by Alexis Mark. She sees the floor really well and can see those gaps to get in there and score the basket.
Alexis Mark has proven to be the team's best driver so far, as there's some hounding defense from the Broncos. Lavelle, stop, pop. This time it doesn't drop. But the Broncos will keep possession. McGuire was battling for the offensive rebound. It's the first miss from the floor all game for the Broncos so far. Bowers guarded by Oberg and draws the foul, so Rachel Bowers will go to the line and shoot 2.
You love to see that post-to-post love right there, McGuire to Bowers.
And McGuire with that mismatch of Marquez on her, just 5'5" Marquez, easy on the inbounds play to get it to her as Bowers sinks the first. We mentioned Bowers was in foul trouble for most of the game on Thursday. She only played 10 minutes and picked up 4 fouls. But she sinks both free throws, makes it 8-2. Here's Tyra Whitehead, her first touch, and she'll take free throw line extended jumper that'll drop, and McGuire's going to have to clamp down on that. Mark off to Lavelle, high pick and roll, and Jade Lavelle keeps shooting, and she'll keep making mid-range jumpers. .31 on Thursday, already 6 here, and we've only played 3 minutes. Mark keeps reaching, trying to poke the wall away from Marquez, forces the dribble pick up. Tough defense leads to a steal. Great solo effort there by Alexis Mark. The outlet, Lavelle trying to throw it over to Mark, it looked like, rather than take a shot, but she got fouled anyways.
One thing the Broncos do really well is run in transition. They really get out in those lanes, the guards especially, and like you see, they either make it or they get a foul, so they need to keep running those lanes.
And if you're the Broncos, Isabel, you got to keep going back to Jade Lavelle.
Of course. I mean, she's already made 3 of her jump shots. You have to get closer to her, get a hand in her face, and just kind of follow her around wherever she goes.
She makes the first free throw, second one up and good as well. So Lavelle, a quick 8 points, approaching double-digit territory, and we haven't even reached the first media timeout of the game. She's got 8 of the Broncos' 12. She's doubling the Spartans' score as a team. Spartans will go back to Whitehead in the post, working on McGuire. Left-handed hook won't go, and Bowers pulls it down. Narrow. She wants Lavelle. She was looking for it, but McGuire's left open from deep straight away, and that goes down, and that's going to be a timeout. Jamie Craighead wants to talk it over. Broncos on top by 11 early. Broncos on top 15-4, and Isabel, it's been the Jade Lavelle show early, just like it was on Thursday.
Yeah, to win this game for the Spartans, you have to stop Jade Lavelle. I mean, she's on fire right now, and you have to make those in-game adjustments and get right up in her when she's in her shooting pocket.
She's 3 for 3 from the floor already, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. The Broncos have not missed from the floor yet this game. A perfect 5 for 5 as Sophia Jones loses the handle, and we've got a jump ball. And that's going to be a turnover against SJSU. Possession arrow pointing towards Boise State. Again, that Bronco defense so stifling.
Yeah, that was great hustle by Mary Kay to dive on the ground and grab that ball.
Lavelle feeling it. Somewhat of a heat check there, but Alexis Mark keeps the miss alive. Lavelle driving in again, trying to do it all on her own. And back-to-back misses for her on that trip down the floor. Here's Autumn Mendez, leaves a 3 short. And rebound Broncos and Lavelle. Mark wants a 3. She leaves that short, and Bowers again on the glass. Bowers has been an animal down low. Already 4 rebounds early, and that's going to be put on the floor, on the line, I should say, rather. So it's going to stay Bronco ball. And Rachel Bowers, after not playing much on Thursday, making an early impact here with those 4 rebounds.
Yep, she's rebounding the ball very well right now, and the main key to rebounding is effort, and she's giving a lot of that on the glass.
Another inbounds play goes to McGuire. Try to set a screen to get Narrow open, but Jones defended it well. Bad cross-court pass, nearly stolen. 7 on the clock. Mark using the glass and scoring for the second time this game. Broncos on a 15-2 run. Jones trying to break down Narrow, slips a bounce pass into Whitehead. Again, back to Whitehead, 7 on the clock. McGuire hitting the face, Bowers the block and the rebound, and we've got a stoppage as McGuire got whacked across the nose.
Yeah, it looks like she got gnarly elbow to the face on that drive to the basket there.
That is a painful one, and we've got another stoppage on the floor as we're going to take a look, more than likely just to make sure there's no blood on the court. Broncos up 17-4 already early. This is a massive change of pace from Thursday as we take another look to the elbow, but the Broncos went on a 5-minute scoring drought in Thursday's first quarter. They've been unstoppable in this one.
Yeah, it's a big shift from Thursday's first quarter. They're definitely feeling it starting this game.
And when you win a game in the fashion they did, a game tie or blocked at the buzzer by one of your true freshmen, I'm sure that has to instill a ton of confidence in your team and everyone to bring into the next game.
Yeah, I think they're probably fired up, excited about last Thursday's win and ready to put it all on the floor for this one.
Broncos also have a lot riding on this one as well. They come into the game with the 6th longest win streak in the nation dating back to last year. Oregon currently on a 26-game win streak. They're tops in the nation, ahead of some big programs like Connecticut, but the Broncos with 12 straight wins looking for number 13. They're also atop the Mountain West Conference as the referees are huddling together, possibly to examine whether or not that should have been an offensive foul against Whitehead. But Boise State is playing to keep the top spot in the conference against a team that was projected in the preseason to finish ahead of them.
Yeah, it's also great to see this from such a young team. So many freshmen on this team. It's great to see them competing in the Mountain West.
And a couple of things that we've talked about earlier on the season. This season's very young, only 4 games for the Broncos, but you're expecting ups and downs with a true freshman lineup. With 10 true freshmen or redshirt freshmen that did not play last year, it's been all ups for the Broncos so far. There have been no downs. There have been no rough patches for any of their freshmen. Mary Kay Narrow's been exceptional at making the right passes, not trying to force anything. Alexis Mark knows when to get her shot, when to drive, and obviously Jade Lavelle is kind of the glue that holds everyone on this team together at the moment.
Yeah, I think a lot of that freshman confidence comes from their coaches. Their coaches have a lot of confidence in them to just go out there and do what they can, and if they make a mistake, that's all right, but just to do the best that they can as freshmen, and so far they're doing pretty great.
And you mentioned the coaching. Coach Presnell, 2018-19's Coach of the Year. He's led the Broncos to 4 consecutive Mountain West championships in the tournament and 3 in the regular season before last year losing to Fresno State out from Fresno State taking the opportunity to win the regular season championship away. Looks like the referees are explaining to both coaches what decision they've made on the Whitehead elbow. And looks like we are going to have a flagrant foul indeed against Tyra Whitehead. So Jade Lavelle will get yet another chance to score more points, and this time she'll do it with no one around. First technical free throw is good, and she will get another. Then the Broncos will get the ball on the sideline. And Lavelle gets the friendly bounce. Broncos extend their lead to 15 and get possession here. Oh, and by the way, with 4:29 left in the first quarter, Jade Lavelle has 10 points.
Yep, she's having herself a game, and it's not even a quarter of the way through.
On pace to drop 40 if she keeps it going like this. Muse and Lalott are in the game for the Broncos, and Mark travels there. So that'll be a turnover against Boise State, their first of the game.
Looks like she just shuffled her feet a little bit before she put the ball down.
So here's Razia Potter around Muse, won't go. A lot of fight for the rebound, and in the end, it's out of bounds off Mark. Spartans haven't scored in over 3 minutes. We mentioned that was the case on Thursday for both teams, but today just the case for the Spartans as they are currently getting blown out early. Inbound to Potter. New shot clock as well. Reset to 20 seconds because of the miss. Corner wide open. That's Lewis who leaves it way long. And Mendez grabs the rebound. Down low. Whitehead as the shot clock expired. Good finish from Tyra Whitehead to end the scoring drought for the Spartans. Reed, quick transition 3, and she misses it all. Reagan Reed, a lot of confidence after Thursday's game. She had 10 points in just 19 minutes, knocked down her first career 3-pointers, and you're going to likely see that confidence transpire into this one. Whitehead no good this time. And Narrow will slow things down as we approach just about 3 to play. Lavelle fading baseline. And Lavelle trying to take some tougher shots now that she's knocked a few down, feeling a lot of confidence, but might want to see her rein it back just a little bit.
Yeah.
Hand in the face, fading on the baseline. That's never an easy shot. Lavelle certainly can hit it, but not sure if that's the shot selection Coach Presnell wants to see out of his star shooting guard. This is Clark for the Spartans, and looking for the 5-5 Marquez, just throws it away. And Isabella's coach, when you're trailing by 13, an unforced turnover is not something that you want to see.
No, not at all. I think the Bronco guards right now are doing a good job pressuring those lanes and getting out there.
Elodie Lalott, nice little move. Baseline, hop stepping back into the paint and scoring. 21-6. Mendez, 3-ball, that one's good.
Spartans really needed that one to try and get back in this.
still early, but cannot afford to let the Broncos continue to play the way they have and not make baskets. Narrow wants to go in. Beautiful pass. Again, we talk about the vision as a true freshman. Mary Kay Narrow puts it on display once again, splitting defenders to find Lalott.
She just sees the floor so well offensively, and driving in, seeing the wide open Lalott down low, and just a nice little dump pass to her.
Bronco fans have been spoiled the past 2 years with Jade Christopher, who transferred in from Kansas, should say smashed the Boise State single-season assist record. Mary Kay Narrow very likely could set the Bronco career record as long as she continues to start all 4 years, because her court vision is impeccable. Marquez poked that one out of bounds, so it'll be Bronco ball. Narrow went to the bench. Alexis Mark came back in. This is Kimora Sykes, first time touching the basketball this afternoon. Gets it straight back from Reed. Mark stepping through, nearly had it, but it rolls off the front of the rim. And again, Mark putting her driving ability on display. Oberg low to Whitehead. Good play from the Spartans. Nice post-to-post over the top there. One minute left here in the first frame. Broncos up by 12. Lalott trying to go to Muse. Mark luckily there to save it from being a turnover. 9 on the shot clock. Bounce pass Lalott. Tons of contact and no whistle. And Whitehead will pull down the board. Spartans will want to get a 2-for-1 and a blocking foul against Kimora Sykes. And looked like a good call to me as Sykes was all over the place.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact there.
Sykes trying to draw that charging foul, but those feet were never set. And McCall a shooting foul as well, because Broncos are not in the bonus. In fact, that's just the second foul of the entire quarter for the Broncos. So a great defensive effort. They forced 4 turnovers and only 2 fouls.
Yeah, that's a big improvement from last game. Last game, the Spartans got to the free throw line a lot in the first half, so that could have been something they talked about, improving this game, and so far they have.
Spartans put up 14 free throws in half number 1 of Thursday's loss, and we are going to get a newcomer onto the court for the first time in 381 days. Anna Osley will suit up in a basketball uniform, and not just in a uniform, wearing number 14. That's her number. That was the number of Brady Hodgins, who was a very good player here at Boise State over her career. And Osley, Isabel, we saw in warm-ups, everyone's talked about how she's a shooter. She didn't miss a single three-pointer all warm-ups.
Yeah, she was lights out in warm-ups, and I've watched a few practices, and she can really shoot the three.
She knocked down 161 three-pointers at her time at Chaparral High School in Scottsdale, and she didn't even play more than 3/4 of her senior season due to a knee injury. After that Bronco turnover, 10 on the clock, Spartans will get a chance to hold for the final shot and make it a single-digit deficit heading into the next quarter. Potter, tons of contact, still gets the layup to fall. Incredible, and time will expire. So a great play by Potter. She makes it 23-14, and we will head to break. Second quarter action coming up next. Broncos ahead by 9. The Broncos got out to an early start in this one. Mary Kay Narrow doing her thing as she was dishing the ball all over the place. Only credited with 1 assist, but when you look at her passing, she definitely deserves a few more.
Yeah, like we said earlier, she just sees the floor so well, and she sees the open players, and she gets in the ball.
Jade Lavelle, meanwhile, finishes the first quarter with 10 points, but the Broncos have struggled offensively of late. They come into this quarter on a 2.5-minute scoring drought, and the Spartans have cut the deficit to single digits. Sykes will be running the one here to start the second. as Bowers again on the glass, and this time gets the second chance points. 4 points, 5 rebounds for Rachel Bowers here early on.
That was a great rebound by Bowers. She was fully extended in the air, and a great putback and finish.
Well, Potter trying to work some pick and roll with Whitehead. And Clark backdoor cut on Osley, who gets there just in time to affect the shot. Broncos moving pretty slowly here on this possession compared to their normal tempo. As Lavelle gets the pick. McGuire pops. Osley, her first three. Leaves it long, but right there on the backside is Mallory McGuire to convert.
Yeah, that was a great cleanup by Mallory, and probably just some of those first game jitters for Osley.
So different coming into a real game, conference game, first time in over a year on the court compared to just shooting around in warm-ups when it's just you and your teammates. And we got a foul. Rachel Bowers picking it up. Just her first of the game so far as Tara Whitehead heads to the bench. Spartans inbounding under their basket here. Broncos currently on top by 13 again. Broncos only led by 8 on Thursday's game, and that is an offensive foul. Martina Makalova getting dirty on the ground and drawing the charge.
That's one thing that I think Makalova does well is she just kind of sacrifices her body on defense. I think in the last few games, I think she's recorded a couple charges. She just really gets after it.
It seems like she picks up nearly a charge a game. Narrow finds Makalova. Oberg quickly comes over to defend, and she throws it away, much to the disgust of Coach Presnell, who threw his hands skyward. Here's a dribble handoff, Marquez. Deep three from Clark, and Narrow will go scoop up the miss. Lavelle hopping in, good find, and Bowers loses the handle. Great play from Lavelle, drawing a triple team and then giving it up. And that's the thing about Jade Lavelle, is she does have the maturity to know when a teammate's going to be open, when to give it up, rather than try to force her own. Autumn Mendez doesn't get it. Rebound and second chance from Lewis, who ends up getting fouled, and she will head to the line. Narrow, the one who conked her on the arm.
Looked like there was a little breakdown defensively. There was no one in help side to help Narrow, especially when she's getting over that screen. There has to be someone to help her out because she's already a step behind.
Miscommunication by the Broncos as Lewis knocks down the first. And unlike Jade Lavelle, who continued her carryover from Thursday, Lewis, who had 20 and 13, that's just her third points today. And she misses the second free throw as well. She's just 1 of 3 from the floor and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. High post McGuire, and she traveled. Looked like she didn't move that pivot foot, or did move that pivot foot rather.
Yeah, she was looking around to find someone to pass to, and I think she just picked up that foot.
Here's a three ball on the way from Marquez, no good. Bowers, the rebound, number 6. And this is the thing about the Broncos, is that from game to game, anyone can do really anything. Jade Lavelle, obviously the primary scorer. She goes up here and draws the foul, but we saw Muse with 18 rebounds on Thursday. Well, now it's Bowers. She's got 6 already here in the first half. Lavelle's still doing the scoring thing. Narrow's been the assister, but the Broncos get contributions on every part of the game from everyone. Makalova taking the charge.
Yeah, they do a great job of everyone participating. Even 2 games ago, Elodie had a great game. So it's like every game, a different person steps up and has a career night almost.
Yeah, Elodie, as you mentioned, 2 games ago, 16 minutes, 4 for 6 on the floor, 10 points. We've seen the Broncos have 4 or more in double digits every game this season, which is incredible as we talk about the team with 10 true freshmen. To get double-digit scoring from 4 or more every single game you play with a roster like this that has never stepped on the floor and is learning how to play together, absolutely incredible. Broncos currently lead the Spartans by 14. As they go to Whitehead again, fadeaway jumper, and that is Whitehead's move, and she converts yet again. Lavelle met with a double, aggressively met with a jump ball, and the possession arrow favors Boise State. And Isabel, you said earlier that San Jose needs to stop Jade Lavelle. Well, Whitehead did a good job there, coming over, creating contact, and getting her arms around the ball. McGuire trying to go to Lavelle, and too strong.
The Spartans seem to be picking up their pressure a little bit and definitely frazzled the Broncos that time.
Boise State had a lot of easy looks. A lot of passing lanes were open in the first quarter. Here in the second, not the same. Potter to Whitehead again. This time she's met by Mark, and that is absolutely going to be a foul. Tyra Whitehead will go to the line as Mark came over to help. But a little too much contact there.
Just a little bit too much help. Sometimes you have to trust your post player to be there and play good defense, and McGuire was definitely there ready to contest that shot.
McGuire, who's only playing in her 3rd game of the season here in the Broncos' 5th. She missed the opener, missed Thursday's game, now back in the lineup today. Broncos up by 10. Whitehead pokes it away as Nero wanted to find McGuire. Oberg around Bowers. And Whitehead left alone, but this time doesn't do damage. Mark in, around, and out goes the layup. And we're seeing the Broncos commit aggressively to help side whenever Whiteside gets the ball, or Whitehead rather. There's Oberg. Lavelle reaches in. And it looks like it's going to be a foul on Lavelle. Indeed, it is. And the Spartans will take it out on the baseline. We will take a break. 4:54 remaining here in quarter number 2. Broncos on top by 10. Broncos still holding on to their 10-point lead here at ExtraMile Arena, 29-19. But Tyra Whitehead's doing as much as she can to cut into it. They keep going back to her in the post, and she keeps providing for the Spartans.
Yep, she is super physical down low, going in, not fading away from contact, and just finishing pretty well right now.
And she does have that fadeaway jumper. Obviously, she doesn't shy away from contact. She'll take it when it's given, but if no one wants to battle with her, she'll just step right away from you and knock down the jumper. This time gets away from McGuire, but doesn't convert. She's 4 of 10 from the floor for 10 points in the game. 3 on the shot clock. Potter's step back jumper makes her own shot, and McGuire gathers the miss. Jade Lavelle, who had 10 in the first, has only 2 points here in the quarter. In fact, the Broncos haven't hit a field goal in 4 minutes. Lavelle trying to change that. Can't do it. So it remains 29-19. Potter drives, reverse. Bowers had it, knocked away. Nero still grabs it. Narrow, tons of space. And free throw line extended. Mary Kay Narrow gets on the board, just her first shot of the game.
That was a great shot by Narrow. Again, like I said, they're great in transition, and there was no one open in the lanes, and she was open, so she popped and shot it.
Absolutely the definition of a pass-first point guard, but knows when to take her shot when it's available. Whitehead wants another fade away, and the post fade from Tyra Whitehead is a thing of beauty.
Yeah, that's a great shot for her. McGuire was right in her face, hand up there, and she still swished it.
Mark, free throw line jumper, no good. And Whitehead grabs it. Out quick to Marquez, but now they'll slow it down. Still a 10-point game. The Spartans simply just can't cut the deficit to single digits. And this is what happens when you get down big early. You're trying to play catch-up the whole game, and it is not fun. Potter spinning around Mark, and Mark trying to steal the pass, got her out of position there for the baseline drive. McGuire to Bowers, around Whitehead, and scoring at the basket, Rachel Bowers, 6 and 6.
That was a great find by McGuire.
Oberg wants a three, that won't go. And we got a timeout called by Coach Presnell. Not sure what exactly he's so unhappy with that he would want a timeout. He wants to talk things over. New clear mask for Coach Presnell as well. He's obviously agitated about something, however.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what it is either.
Isabel, we've made so much about Rachel Bowers having 6 rebounds, performing well after Thursday's game, but Mallory McGuire, as she so often does, has come in and stolen the spotlight. She's leading the team now with 7 rebounds.
Yeah, I think when McGuire plays, she's just so consistent. When she has 7 rebounds, you don't even notice because she just does it every game.
5 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists for McGuire, who's now on the bench. And it's games like these, really all of her games, and the consistency that you mentioned, are reasons why she was first team All-Mountain West preseason selection. Last year we saw it all the time, the consistency, double-double after double-double after double-double. Here to start this season, she scored in double digits all the games she started. She's well on her way here today. And she could be the best player in the conference at the end of the season when it's all said and done. And the officials want to take a look at something. At the moment they're showing them Lavelle and Lalott walking onto the court. I didn't see anything coming out of the break that would have been called for a replay. So we wait. Broncos on top 10, 2:23 left in half number 1. Broncos on top of the Mountain West Conference as we try to peer at that monitor. So this is the last play before the break. The missed three-pointer. And then McGuire grabbed the rebound. They called a timeout. Maybe if McGuire traveled before the timeout, that it would be a turnover, but either way, it's Bronco ball. So Boise State will look to build on their double-digit lead here on this possession. Lavelle, met by a double, gets around it all, but leaves the layup short. Quick outlet, 3-ball on its way, and that's Autumn Mendez, the North Iowa Community College transfer, making an impact and finally getting this lead down to single digits. Reagan Reed drives around. Great find, and the Broncos playing team basketball again.
Another freshman with some great court vision going on right now.
You also have to think a little bit as Muse fouls Potter, who acrobatic layup gets it to fall. And she'll go to line for an and one.
When Potter gets the ball, she is looking to score, particularly looking to get to the basket.
She excels at it. She had 17 on Thursday. The point I was going to make about the court vision as well is it's also a byproduct of the coaching, because everyone on the court at all times always knows where the four others are going to be. And you have to give Coach Presnell and his staff credit for allowing the Broncos to always know where their teammates are going to be on the floor. Narrow shot blocked by Oberg. Mendez down low to Lewis. Doubled. Ball grabbed by Lalott, and it's a jump, but possession arrow will keep it with the Spartans. And Spartan bench is coming to life here late in the first half. And the team's coming to life as well, 35-29. This game that has felt out of hand for the majority of it is now not so out of reach.
I think bench energy is so important to just provide energy for those on the floor and get things going.
Potter again trying the circus layup, and it doesn't go, so now under a minute to play in the first half. Broncos with their small ball lineup in. Dish off Lalott. Her own rebound, contact, doesn't go, and last touched by Elodie Lalott. So Spartans with an opportunity for a 2-for-1 here, which you have to imagine they'll try to take.
Looks like they're going to slow it down and try to get a good shot here to end the half.
Now Potter is taking her time. They can't dribble the clock entirely out, but they can leave the Broncos with about 10 seconds or so. 5 on the clock. Potter high pick and roll. Offensive foul. Illegal screen against Sydney Lewis.
Mary Kay does a great job defensively getting over those screens and staying with Potter, I believe that was.
You're right. I don't know if I've ever seen Mary Kay Narrow go under a screen. She's always fighting through that screen to try to limit the ability beyond the arc. 8 to play here in half number 1. Lavelle up, fouled, and with 2.4 on the clock, Lavelle will go to the line.
That is not what you want to do defensively to end the half when there's just a few seconds on the shot clock. Lavelle going up for a pretty tough shot and then just fouling her.
Now you give Lavelle, who's an outstanding free throw shooter, 2 free ones at the line, and only give yourself 2.4 seconds to try to answer. Lavelle doesn't get that one. And the Spartans will chuck it. Shot didn't even come up in time, and it was nowhere close. So the Broncos will take a lead in the locker room. Not as big as they would hope, but still a lead nonetheless. 36-29 as we head to halftime. Boise State on top. We will be back with stats, highlights after this. Keep it here on the Mountain West Network. Welcome back. Halftime here at Extra Mile Arena. Leonard Berry, Isabel Haddon with you inside the arena. And the Broncos got off to a very hot start in this one. They still have their lead, but no longer the double-digit lead, just by 9 points. But still, compared to the game that we saw on Thursday, the Broncos are playing much better here in the first half.
Yeah, I think Lavelle is doing a great job right now. She has 15 points, but I think someone else needs to step up and try to contribute a little bit more offensively. It's spread out a bit, but the next person is McGuire with 5 points, so hopefully someone else can add a few points.
Yeah, the Broncos are struggling getting scoring from anyone other than Lavelle. As we take a look at the numbers, the turnovers, the field goal percentage pretty close. Broncos out-rebounding, as we mentioned. McGuire and Bowers doing their thing. 7 and 6 rebounds for each of them, and they have been crashing the glass. But the three-point percentage a bit of a surprise. Broncos just 1 of 7 from deep so far in this game.
Yeah, they're not shooting great from the three-point line, but that just means that you have to keep shooting it, and this is a team that will do that. So if they get open, I guarantee you they'll keep shooting the ball until one falls.
In fact, the only three-pointer that the Broncos have made so far in this game came by Mallory McGuire, and that was at the 6-minute mark of quarter number 1. So they didn't make a three all second half, and the second half of the second quarter, and they didn't make a three the whole second half of the first quarter. So Boise State's got to find a way to dial it in. Of course, Anna Osley being back, maybe they get her on the floor, try to run someplace for her to get her open, but what Boise State's doing right now is working, so they might not want to switch things up either.
This is very true. I think, especially when you're missing shots, you need to get in there and rebound those missed shots, and they're doing a pretty good job with that right now, so they just have to keep up that rebounding.
Yep, Boise State making the big impact on the defensive glass, out-rebounding the Spartans 17-12 there. The offensive rebounds are actually pretty similar, and so are the second chance points. 6 offensive rebounds for the Broncos, 4 for the Spartans, and 6 second chance points for Boise State compared to 5 for San Jose State. But the bench has been the big difference. 18 bench points for San Jose State here in this one.
Yeah, that's a lot of bench points, and it's really important to have a successful game for those bench players to come in and contribute, and they're doing a great job.
They are indeed. We will see exactly how well that the Spartans can continue. Both teams shooting about the same, 11 of 31 from the floor for San Jose State, 13 for 30 for Boise State. But the trips to the free throw line, we mentioned Thursday the Spartans got 14 trips in the first half. Today it's the Broncos 9 of 10, and if Lavelle hadn't missed that last free throw, they would have been a perfect 10 for 10 going in to the second half.
Yeah, it's important to knock down those free throws and get those free points.
When we come back, we will have highlights from the first half right here on the Mountain West Network, so keep it here. Broncos on top as we continue halftime, 36-29 here inside Extra Mile Arena, and Boise State came out swinging in quarter number 1, getting out to a 23-14 lead, but the Spartans came back, outscored them 15-13 in the second, and the Bronco lead currently stands at 9 points. Leonard Berry, Isabel Haddon here as we bring you halftime, and the first half was full of exciting plays from everyone. Broncos getting it done, especially with Jade Lavelle, as we've mentioned. 15 points for her, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, and from the outset, she was the one who got it started. This is the very second play of the game.
Yeah, they started off very hot in the first quarter, especially Jade. And they just kind of cooled off in the second quarter, but I think they really need to come out firing in the third.
And the question then becomes, how do you recapture that energy that you had in the first? Because anyone watching could easily see that the Broncos didn't look the same. The defensive intensity wasn't the same as it was at the start of the game. And how do you get that back as a team?
I think an important thing is when you're in those lulls, just keep pushing, and if shots aren't going your way, controlling what you can control. If you can get on the glass, putting in that effort. And if the shots aren't falling, they're just not falling, you have to pick it up somewhere else.
Well, the Broncos have indeed been on the glass, and we've talked about how that's all effort, and McGuire and Bowers have both been efforting. 7 rebounds for each of them. Everyone else who's played for the Broncos also has at least 2 rebounds, minus Abby Muse, who has 1. So everyone who's touched the floor for the Broncos has gotten a rebound. So it shows you that the team effort is there. The shots just stopped falling for them in the second. And Rachel Bowers was making her impact felt early on.
Yeah, it's nice to see Bowers kind of bounce back from last game with all that foul trouble and really contribute today in this game, especially on the boards.
And that was something for Bowers that plagued her last season, always seemed to be in foul trouble. When she's not in foul trouble, like we've seen today, she's been an outstanding player and all these rebounds that she's been grabbing. But she also gets it done after the rebounds as well, not just defensively, but offensive rebounds and putbacks.
Yeah, she's really good at finishing around the basket once she gets those boards.
Yeah, you saw there Bowers just going around Whitehead, who has been really a thorn in the Broncos' side. Her defensive effort in that second quarter was a big reason why Bowers and McGuire were having so much trouble.
Yeah, I think Bowers down low, another good thing about her is she doesn't get super fancy with her moves. She just is very consistent, and they're just great post moves.
Yep, one dribble, puts it on the floor, makes a move, and goes up. We will have the second half coming up next. Broncos leading the Spartans 36-29 here on January 2nd. Just about a minute away from starting the second half. Broncos on top by 9, looking to stay perfect on the season, not only in the number, but in conference as well, which is the big deal, as they're currently tops of the Mountain West. Of course, just 1-0, so a very small sample size, but they're the only unbeaten in conference so far, including the surprise of the season early on, and the team that's played the most games, Colorado State, getting off to conference play 3-1 and 7-1 overall, which not a lot of people expected. They were picked to finish mid-table, and they have surprised a lot of people so far. But Boise State picked to finish third. Spartans picked to finish second. And if Boise State takes both games off SJSU here early, that would be absolutely massive, because the Broncos do not play Fresno State, the team that's picked to win the conference, until much later on, towards the end of February. And Jade Lavelle, who had 15 points in half number one, on pace to score 30 again. Back-to-back 30-point games would be certainly a treat to watch from Jade Lavelle. So we'll keep an eye on that as we begin the second. And yet again, it's Rachel Bowers, post-to-post love. McGuire assisting Bowers on the finish. Whitehead throws it away. And that'll be a turnover straight out of the locker room for the Spartans. Whitehead attempted that exact same pass on Thursday, actually, down on the other end, and threw it out of bounds as well. Narrow lines up a three and swishes it.
Spartans leaving her wide open on that one.
Bit of disrespect there for the point guard, who's already proven that she can knock down jumpers. She went 3 of 4 on threes on Thursday's matchup, so you would think they would clamp down on her, but just lost in transition there, and that is a foul against Jade Lavelle, it looks like. Indeed, it is Jade Lavelle picking up the foul.
Those can be fouls that coaches just hate to see, not getting completely in front of that driver and just reaching in and trying to knock it out.
Looked like she got Lewis right on the left elbow, and Lewis again misses a free throw. So having a very up and down performance here this weekend. Coming off the 20-point game on Thursday, here being held to just 3 points on 1 of 4 shooting is the senior from Long Beach. She makes the second free throw. Of course, Lewis came in averaging just over 6 points a game. So to have the 20-point explosion, could certainly say that was out of the usual for her, and maybe regressing back to the mean here this afternoon. Bowers, a little jump shot. Don't see her do that too often, but puts the attempt up and misses long. Spartans a miss. Narrow to McGuire. Transition three. No good. And the rebound grab by Clark. So the Broncos still struggling from the outside just a bit. That narrow three-pointer goes down, but then they come right back and miss one, and then they leave Marquez open behind the line. A big miscommunication there by the Bronco defense. And Isabel, that's exactly how a team like San Jose State's going to get back into the game. You break down defensively and leave open three-point shooters, you're going to have problems real soon. Good little reach around there by Clark. And McGuire scores straight off the inbounds.
That was a great out-of-bounds play. When you have a player like McGuire who can take up so much space and battle down low, she just seals and easy 2 points.
Oberg thought about the shot. They've got the mismatch they want. Instead, they'll give it to Lewis, and Bowers will get whistled for a blocking foul. Broncos up by 13. Second foul against Bowers. And it'll be an under the basket play here for the Spartans. No shooting foul. And now we got a whistle away from the basket, and it's Bowers again. So back-to-back fouls. And all of a sudden she goes from 1 foul to 3. Now she's dangerously close to having to sit out until the 4th.
Yep, she definitely has to start being a little more careful now.
On Thursday, she came back into the game with 4 fouls as Potter, great spin move through the lane to score. But Bowers came in with 4 fouls. Spartans immediately attacked her, and she played it extremely safe. Just hands-up defense as Lavelle misses, but Mark gives the Broncos a second chance. They lose McGuire again, and Mallory McGuire's got 9 points in the game.
That's one thing the Broncos do really well is looking inside for their post players, whether it be post to post or guard to post. They're constantly looking for that.
Oberg, 3-ball, no good. Back up Lewis, that's also no good. Mendez, a 3rd attempt, and that won't go. McGuire pulls down her 8th board of the game. And it's incredible how good the Broncos are at making people lose a 6'5" target. McGuire seems to get open backdoor and on the other side of the block so often as they're the 2 freshmen combining with some great defense. Narrow and Mark. Again, Bowers to McGuire, and Bowers just can't finish it off. And this game has opened way up here as Potter just blows past McGuire. Craighead wants a timeout for the Spartans, and we're going to take it along with them. 6:20 left to play. Broncos back up by 11. Well, Jade Lavelle took over the first half of this game, and Mallory McGuire making the beginning of the 3rd quarter hers. She's got 9 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists, having herself quite a game. She came in averaging 14.5 points and 9.5 rebounds a game, and it looks like she's on pace to pass both of those numbers here in this one. Narrow to Lalott. No one on the left side of the court for the Broncos. Now they move Mark over there. Nearly a 5th assist, but good defense right there from Autumn Mendez, blocking the shot from Lalott.
Even though they didn't finish that one, that was some great ball movement by the Broncos.
Broncos have had stellar ball movement this entire quarter, and Oberg has traveled. That'll be another turnover against the Spartans. We're seeing a much cleaner game here this afternoon. Neither team with double-digit turnovers yet, which we saw both teams have that on Thursday in the first half. Broncos lead it by 11. Lalott goes down in a heap. She's slow to get up, and they're just going to whistle the play dead as Lavelle knocks the shot down. Looks like she banged the back of her head on that hard floor. Doesn't even look like she hit the floor. It looks like she just went straight into the calf of Whitehead.
It's definitely getting physical down in that post this game.
We saw Powers pick up 2 fouls down on this side of the court when the Spartans had their last offensive possession. Now that goes uncalled because Lalott just tripped up, but still has to go to the bench, so Muse has to come in. Bowers nearly in foul trouble as well, so the Broncos getting thin on posts once more. Talking to Coach Presnell. And for a man nearing 300 career victories, he looks pretty stressed about it. McGuire gets absolutely hacked, and she'll go to the line. Again, she just keeps the offense alive. 9th rebound, another offensive rebound, and there's no chance Autumn Mendez is boxing out that.
Yeah, she definitely has that height advantage right there and puts it up strong.
5'8" Mendez, no chance against the 6'5" McGuire, and with that free throw going in, McGuire has now broken the double-digit point territory with 10. So it becomes just the second Bronco to crack the 10-point plateau.
Like I said earlier, we really needed someone else to step up offensively, and McGuire has done that this half.
Potter drives in. We talk about how good she is at getting the basket. Shows it off again. She's got 14. And she has been the lifeblood along with Whitehead in this game. And that's going to be an offensive foul against Muse. Abby Muse getting her hand wrapped around the jaw of Potter.
Yep, on that roll, she just kind of popped her in the face a little bit.
And now the referees are going to discuss. We had this earlier with the Whitehead foul. Certainly looked more intentional. And they're going to take a look at this one as well. So 13-point lead for the Broncos, and they want to see if this is a flagrant foul offense.
Didn't seem super intentional, but it was definitely an elbow to the face.
And it's hard for the referees to brush that off after we had an incident earlier in the game. When you take a look at that and you compare it to the Whitehead elbow, it looks less malicious. But you also can't rule out the referees saying that this is a retaliation for earlier in the game. But they looked at this one a lot faster than the other. And it looks like Spartans are just going to take it out on the baseline. Well, they're going to talk about it instead, rather. So they're still going to discuss. This is one of those times where we wish we had mics on the referees.
Exactly.
So you get inside their head. We're going to call both coaches over and explain. Coach Presnell looks pretty disappointed, so I have a feeling that we might be seeing some free throws here.
Seems like the ref speaking to them said that Muse might have raised her elbow, so they could see that as an intentional act to elbow her.
Yep. The second time this game that Coach Craighead and Coach Presnell get called together. Of course, not the first time that those two have stood right next to each other, coached against each other in the Mountain West for 8 seasons now, and Coach Presnell throws himself into his chair. And it is indeed a flagrant foul. Free throw, no good. And second free throw, no good. So, they say the ball doesn't lie. And it spoke right there, I suppose. Lead remains 11. And Spartan ball with really nothing changed in the game. That's Annalise Benali. First time we've seen her on the court this game, and McGuire pulls down rebound number 10. How about it? Another double-double for Mallory McGuire, a pillar of consistency. 11 points and 10 rebounds. Alexis Mark, no help on the jump shot from the rim, but Abby Muse crashes the glass, gets herself fouled, and will head to the line.
Yep, Abby Muse is finally getting into the action a little bit. Great rebound there, and sent to the line for 2 free throws.
She will have a chance when we come back at the line to extend this Bronco lead. At the moment, 47-36, 4:36 to play here in the third. Broncos on top by 11. Abby Muse at the free throw line, coming off the game where she scored 14 and pulled down 18 rebounds. Today, with Mallory McGuire being back, she hasn't had the opportunity at all. In fact, if she makes either of these free throws, it'll be the first points of the game for her. And she makes the first, so Muse with 4:36 left in the third finally gets on the score sheet. But it shows you that the Broncos have so much depth that a player can play so well on Thursday, then come in on Saturday and be a complete afterthought, really, in the grand scheme of things in this game. Potter spinning, defended by Muse, and Narrow goes down. Both of them were straight up. So it's a turnover, and the Broncos want to run. McGuire to Lavelle. Back to McGuire, mid-range this time, and Mallory McGuire making them pay from everywhere.
Great defense like that can just hype up a team so much, and it often leads to great offense on the other end, which it did there.
Broncos now have 13 points off of turnovers in this one. Lewis 3-ball. Doesn't go. McGuire defense on Oberg and knocked out of bounds by Alexis Marks, so Spartans will keep it.
They have to keep the Spartans off the glass. That's an easy way for them to get back in this game, is giving them O boards.
Spartans without their best player and maybe one of the best players in the conference in Asiana Basalo. Injured her ACL in the win over Utah State on the 21st of December. As here's Ben Ali. Can't get the floater to fall, and Muse stepped out of bounds before she threw it back. And it really changes the whole look of the Spartans team to lose their star point guard. Last year an All-Mountain West selection, Mountain West Newcomer of the Year. Narrowly missed out on being a preseason first-team selection, but there's just so many good guards in the Mountain West. But she was really the one that made this offense and this whole team tick, and to be without her, you see the Broncos up 15 on a very good Spartans team. Really speaks numbers and volumes to how much they're missing her right now. So Lewis will shoot 2 at the free throw line, makes the first. Just 1 of 6 from the floor. She misses the second free throw as well. She's having a tough go of things. 1 of 6 from the floor, 3 of 6 from the free throw line, just 5 points. Lavelle pick and pop McGuire. Narrow wanted to shoot it. Instead, she'll try to get it to Bowers. And it just doesn't work out. Oberg has it knocked away. Bowers and McGuire were there. And Mark running the fast break, met by Potter. It is a jump ball. Spartan ball, matter of fact. Very good defense in transition there by Razia Potter. Under 3 to play here in the third. 51-37 is our score. Here's Lewis working on Bowers. To the left. McGuire pulls down another board, 13 and 12.
That was some great defense by Bowers. She kept her arms up. She was just bodying her and made her take a tough contested shot.
McGuire misses that. Bowers wanted to get the rebound, but couldn't afford to go over the back of Marquez with the 3 fouls she has. Great Euro there by Lewis. And maybe that will get her started in the scoring. This Lavelle goes up, shot affected, and fouled. Foul goes against Razia Potter. She got Lavelle right there on that left arm. That's the first point for Lavelle here in half number 2. It's been the McGuire show so far. And Lavelle makes them both. So the daughter of 8-year NFL vet Derek Lavelle scores for the first time here in the second half. And now the daughter of Mark Jones on ABC and ESPN comes into the game for the Spartans. And it's Marquez who finishes at the basket. The 5'5 Marquez not afraid of taking it down low.
The last few possessions, the Broncos seem to jump out at those three-point shooters, and they just have driven right by them. So you have to keep your feet and just contest it.
What a shot there. Jade Lavelle fading away, one-legged, still gets it to fall. She's got 19 in the game. Plus court pass, this is Jones. And Lalott pulls down the miss. Lavelle can't handle it. Tries to save it to Sykes, but it's transition for the Spartans. Marquez stopped by Sykes. Good defense there in transition. Here's Sophia Jones. That's Lewis, corner 3, and it goes. Lead quickly down to 11. This is Lavelle. Out to Narrow, wide open, 3-ball. And Bowers will chase it down. Here's Lavelle through the contact, nearly got it to drop. But regardless, she'll head to the line.
Jade Lavelle's a player that's tough to guard because when you do finally take away her jump shot, she'll just drive right by you and draw that contact or finish that layup.
And even when she gets doubled at the hoop, has the ability to finish strong as she misses the free throw. She's shooting her 11th and 12th free throws of the game. That's 10 more than any other Bronco. In fact, only 3 other Broncos have gone to the line at all. Bowers, Muse, and McGuire. .15 in the quarter. Corner 3 again, and the Spartans are heating up. Again, the lead is 9. Broncos with an opportunity here. Lalott will just chuck it up. It'll hit nothing. And that is how it'll end. So we'll head to the final frame. Boise State on top by 9. We are here about to begin the fourth quarter of play, and the Spartans, who trailed by a lot at multiple points in this game, are making it a game. They got hot from deep to end that quarter. And if they can continue that, they're going to give the Broncos a run for their money here.
Yeah, the Spartans are making a little comeback here, and Boise State just had a few breakdowns in the end of that third quarter, so hopefully they can clean it up.
Need to clean it up if they want to win this game. They do have the cushion of a 9-point lead, which has basically been the lowest the Spartans have been able to get it to all afternoon. Bowers wants a straightaway 3 and almost got it. Instead, Marquez gobbles it up. So San Jose State will try to get the lead a little bit lower, but Oberg nearly turned it over there by missing the pass. 8 on the clock. McGuire fouls Whitehead, and she will go to the line.
That fadeaway, McGuire just came down, should have stayed straight up and definitely hit her arm.
It's so hard to defend that fadeaway. You have to close so much space because Whitehead creates so much separation, and she misses the free throw.
Yeah, it's a great move to have if you can fade away like that.
And she's consistent with it as well. She's 5 of 12 from the floor. Of course, not every single one of those has been the fade, but it seems like every time she's gone to the fade, she's hitting it about 60, 70% of the time. They leave Bowers open again, and she's going to shoot it. This time it's back iron. Spartans might have found a weak link in the armor. Marquez, little floater in the lane, won't drop. Second offensive rebound. Oberg, 3-ball. No. Whitehead got smacked by Lavelle, and the Broncos will have a 5v4 going the other way. And now they'll finally whistle it dead. We saw Whitehead go down on Thursday's game with some sort of calf injury, and at the moment she's scooting off the floor.
The refs are at center court talking again.
We'll get a look. Lavelle, yeah, comes down right on her face, and it looked like maybe the pinky straight into the eye. And Whitehead just mouthed there on the broadcast, "I can't breathe." And she's gasping for air. Or maybe it was on the nose. Wire trying to deny her the ball there was Oberg. 9 on the shot clock. 3-ball McGuire, that's going to be off to the left, and in fact it's going to miss everything.
Yeah, the Spartans are definitely starting to turn up their defense, forcing a rush shot, and probably not the one exactly that you wanted.
So the score remains the same. Neither team able to score here in the quarter as we played almost 2 minutes. Potter instead gives it up. And Oberg finds Lewis. Poked away by Bowers. Potter, 3-ball. Doesn't do that often, and you see why. She leaves it short off the front of the rim. Lavelle creates space for herself. Bowers crashes the glass, puts it back up, can't get it either, and neither of these teams able to take the lid off the basket to begin the fourth. Mendez remains glued shut. McGuire, 3-ball, side rim. Almost 3 minutes of no score in the quarter now.
Both teams seeming to get a little tired. It can get tiring when you have a long series like this without any breaks and just a lot of missed shots.
Potter. Sound like a broken record, but no, it doesn't go. And Coach Presno wants a timeout. He's seen enough. 56-47 is still the score. And with 6:52 left to play, we will take a break. No score here in the fourth quarter. Coach Presno wanted a timeout. He had seen enough. Neither team able to put the ball in the basket in this quarter, but in the second half, Mallory McGuire has been putting the ball in the basket and grabbing the boards. She's got 13 points and 15 rebounds Very reminiscent of Abby Muse a game ago, and that's going to be a foul on Potter, actually. I don't think McGuire wants the foul as she was in prime position to score yet again.
That was a great effort by McGuire, really posting that girl up the whole way down and drawing that foul.
Potter just simply no match. 5'9", down low, trying to guard Mallory McGuire. And there's not a lot of centers in this conference that can guard McGuire, and they try to go to her straight off the inbounds. And it's tipped out of bounds by Whitehead. So still we remain scoreless here in the fourth. The score has not changed for over 3 minutes. Broncos are 0 of 6 from the floor, so are the Spartans. And both teams are jacking up three-pointers here in the quarter. Spartans 0 for 5 from deep, Broncos 0 for 4. And Lavelle trying a pass to the double team to McGuire. Oberg, can she end it? No. Whitehead, can she end it? Well, she'll get fouled, so she'll get a chance to go to the line.
Seems like that last possession, they were really trying to force it into McGuire. But you don't need to force it if it's not there.
This time, looks like it's McGuire who picked up the foul. Indeed it is. Just her second of the game. And Whitehead finally ends our scoring drought. The Wake Forest transfer has got both her nostrils plugged up after being smacked by Lavelle. Makes them both. We'll see what the Broncos do offensively. As you mentioned, Isabel, they were adamant about getting it to McGuire last possession. Looks like they're going to do something a little bit different this time. Instead, it's Mark High Post who throws it away, and this is an ugly fourth quarter for the Broncos so far. This is one of those times where we talked about all the true freshmen in big games, which this is for the Broncos, even though it's so early in the season. But in a big game, you got a lot of nerves, a lot of young players. They have to keep it controlled and put a team away. Whitehead loses the handle. Because if the Broncos had just made a couple of shots, this game would basically be all but over with a double-digit lead. Lavelle will drive in. She'll have her shot blocked. And Lewis comes away with it. Broncos guarding aggressively in the backcourt, but again, the Spartans are going to come back. Marquez, no good. And the rebound, Lavelle, who's got 20 and 4 in the game to go along with 2 assists.
Broncos really need to clean it up here offensively.
Narrow at the basket. Finally, a shot falls, and it's Mary Kay Narrow, the point guard, who gets it done. Stat sheet is only crediting Narrow with 2 assists as Reed jumps into the way. Just from watching the game, you would have to think Narrow would have 5, 6, maybe even 7 assists. So it'll be Spartan ball, trailing by 9. And Reagan Reed again, solid defense, and she's fouled. A good foul that stops a streaking Jade Lavelle from scoring uncontested. And we didn't see much of Reagan Reed in the first 3 games. She's getting some quality minutes here in these conference matchups, and she's been a spark off the bench in that second unit.
Yeah, I think she's done a great job coming in as a true freshman, just doing her job, not doing too much, and really making somewhat of an impact.
Talk about an impact. Rachel Bowers continues to make hers felt as she has 10 points in the game now, and she is approaching a double-double. Just one more rebound needed for her. Broncos now have 3 scorers in double digits, and the Spartans travel and turn it over. Realistically, if the Broncos want to continue the streak of 4 scorers in double digits, it's going to have to be Narrow. She's the only one close at the moment. She's got 7 points. Of course, I think they'd be satisfied with just a win as well, and Bowers will do it again.
That was a good move by Bowers, and Potter just kind of seemed to just let her have that one.
Bowers just with the aggressive, put it on the floor once, make a move, go up. That time Potter didn't even contest her. Lewis will get doubled, and Narrow will scoop up the loose rebound. Broncos on a 6-0 run. As Lavelle goes in, lefty layup, no good. Gets her own rebound for a second, but then it's tipped away by the Spartans. McGuire comes back on. So the 4 starters and Reagan Reed out there on the floor for the Broncos with 3.5 left to play. Five on the shot clock. Narrow to Lavelle. High pick and roll. 2. Lavelle throws it up and makes it. At times she can seem unstoppable.
She definitely liked that one.
Some shot clock cheese and a foul and one, count it, for Megan Oberg.
That is one thing about having a great play like that at the shot clock. You got to get back and play defense. Can't celebrate too much.
So the basket makes the Bronco lead 13. A free throw can cut it to 12. Broncos would need to have a pretty sizable collapse here with under 3 to play to let the Spartans back in it. Post to post again. Mallory McGuire assisting Rachel Bowers.
That was a great find. They both saw that Bowers had a mismatch down low, and they got her the ball.
14 points for Bowers. Narrow throws it back, but gets whistled for the foul, and she can't believe it. There's one thing about Mary Kay Narrow, is she's had some stuffing blocks this season already.
Mary Kay, she just runs so hard in transition and gets blocks. She just works really, really hard.
Sophia Jones misses the first. She hasn't got that much action on the floor compared to Thursday. In fact, she's only attempted 1 shot. And knocks down the second free throw on her first trip to the line, and she's instantly going to exit the game as well for Danae Marquez. Broncos lead it by 13. They'll just want to take as much time off the clock as they can every time down the floor. So the Spartans are going to aggressively chase the ball carrier, and Lavelle steps out and turns it over, and that's exactly what Boise State doesn't want to happen. See where Lavelle stepped out at. Just lost the ball, dribbled it out of bounds. Here's Lewis trying to break down Bowers. Instead it's Mendez. Corner 3 near side, doesn't go. Oberg keeps the play alive. Now corner 3 far side for Lewis, and that one doesn't drop either, and Rachel Bowers secures her double-double with her 10th rebound. What a game for Boise State. The 3 upperclassmen showing up and showing out, leading the way in every category. And Lavelle again turns it over, this time by way of a jump ball. And Coach Jamie Craig out of the Spartans wants a timeout. 66-53, a minute 37 to play. The lead looks to be safe. And Coach Presnell looks to be on the way to Bronco victory number 300 career victory number 696. An incredible coach, won at every level in the NCAA. His Seattle Pacific teams were absolutely incredible. Of course, Jamie Craighead, an assistant coach on those teams, working under Coach Presnell. Now they coach against each other here in the conference. But not only is Coach Presnell possibly going to get number 300, but the Broncos will be 2-0 and remain atop the Mountain West Conference, which is a huge achievement and accomplishment for a team that has yet to play a road game this season.
Looks like they're going to slow it down here and try to get a good play off.
Trying to milk as much clock as they can every time down the floor. 10 on the shot clock. McGuire will go up and under, and she will score again. 15-15-5 on the afternoon for McGuire. And nearly a steal, but Lewis gets there in time. Oberg jacks up a triple. That won't go. And Oberg has had a tough time. She's 1 of 6 from 3. She came in on Thursday as the 5th best shooter in the nation, 80% from deep. Has only hit 2 3-pointers in this series, going 2 for 12 from behind the line.
Yeah, both teams really shooting poorly from 3, but yeah, especially those Spartans.
Reagan Reed will just drive baseline and put the finishing touches on this one. 70-53. Shot clock turned off, so the next time the Broncos get the ball back, they will just dribble out their victory. Oberg misses, Bowers the rebound. Who else would it be? Number 11. What a game, a team effort, really the upperclassmen coming to play for Boise State. And as the buzzer expires, the Broncos will move to 5-0. They improve to 2-0 in the Mountain West. That man right there gets victory number 300 in his Bronco career. A huge congratulations in order to Coach Presnell, as he has earned every single one of those victories. Broncos finished the game 4 of 4 from the floor. And those 2 posts, Isabel, they did it all.
Yeah, the posts were outstanding tonight. They were rebounding offensively, defensively, and they were just kind of taking it to the Spartans down low.
Bowers finishes with 14 and 11. McGuire finishes with 15, 16, and 5. Just an incredible performance. You can't say enough. And, of course, again, it's Jade Lavelle who leads the way in scoring 22 points after the 31-point outburst on Thursday. And every game Jade Lavelle scores more than 20 points, the Broncos are going to have a very good chance of winning it.
Yeah, she was also outstanding tonight. That mid-range jump shot, it's got to be stopped.
They say that the mid-range is dead, but in Jade Lavelle's mind, the mid-range jump shot is alive and well, and she proves it every time she comes out onto the court. Our final score, 70-53. Broncos defeat the Spartans. We'll take a look at the stats, and as we mentioned at the end of the game, the 3-point numbers are horrendous. 2 for 14 for Boise State, 4 for 25 for the Spartans. But the thing that matters is that the Broncos found a way to get it done. Even with those shots not dropping, they were able to go into the paint. They were able to out-rebound the Spartans by 11, and they were able to get to the free throw line and make the easy ones.
Yep. I think the free throws were definitely key, especially for Jade. She got to the free throw line a ton and was making them. And then also, like you said, rebounding. If you out-rebound a team, you have a good chance of winning the game.
Broncos extend their winning streak to 13 games now, the 6th longest active winning streak in the nation, and it'll roll on next week when they take on Air Force on the road in Colorado Springs at the Air Force Academy. And Isabel, those will be the first road games all season for Boise State with a team of true freshmen. It'll be very interesting to see how they play out there.
It definitely will be.
So you have that to look forward to next week. Later tonight, the men's team will try to continue the sweep of the Spartans. That game at 4:30 Mountain Time. Razia Potter finishes with 14. Tyra Whitehead finishes with 14 for the Spartans. And for our crew here at Boise State University, I'm Leonard Berry, Isabel Hayden, saying thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week.